Ellie was born in a quiet town nestled between sweeping fields and dusty roads in rural Montana. From the moment she could walk, she gravitated toward the outdoors. While other little girls played with dolls, Ellie played with dirt and tried to mimic the way her mother milked their only cow. But Ellie had something people always noticed. She was small, not just short, but delicate. At every checkup, the doctors told her mother she might not grow much taller. Her classmates didn't let her forget it either. At school, she was picked last in sports, often told, "You'd blow away in the wind," or "You need a step stool just to see the top of the desk." Yet Ellie never showed anger. She just worked harder. She would carry bales of hay twice her size, chase after chickens faster than any boy, and climb fences with the ease of a mountain goat. But people didn't see the strength inside her, they only saw her height. Her mother, a widow, was her only believer. "You don't have to be tall to cast a long shadow," she would whisper to Ellie at night. By 18, Ellie had one dream: to work on a real ranch. She had studied everything she could about livestock, horse training, veterinary basics, and crop cycles. She could ride bareback, calm an angry steer, and fix a broken fence in under 10 minutes. But none of that mattered when she knocked on doors. The first ranch laughed her off. You'll get trampled on day 1. The second told her, "We don't have time to babysit." The third said, "You'd be better off applying at the diner." For weeks, she drove her beat-up truck from one ranch to another, hope shrinking each time someone looked her up and down and judged her on size alone. One night, sitting in her truck, parked under the vast Montana sky, she cried, not from sadness, from rage. "I'll prove them wrong," she whispered. Luke Taylor was a man of few words. He ran his ranch like he lived his life calmly, quietly, and without need for praise. His land stretched for miles, home to a couple hundred cattle, a dozen horses, and 4 ranch hands. Ellie found his place by accident, turning off a dirt road when she saw the sign, "Taylor Ranch." She approached the front porch, dust on her boots, sun in her eyes, and fire in her heart. Luke looked at her, gave a slow nod, and said, "You afraid of hard work?" "No, sir. You start tomorrow." No questions about her size, no judgment in his eyes. The next morning, Ellie was up before sunrise. She shoveled manure, carried feed, brushed horses, and fixed a leaking trough. By noon, her back ached. By dusk, she was bruised and blistered. But she didn't stop. One of the ranch hands, Jake, smirked. "Let's see how long she lasts." But Ellie kept showing up, day after day. She never complained. When the others took breaks, she stayed working. She even started helping them when they struggled. A week passed, then a month. Luke began giving her more responsibility. He noticed how the animals calmed around her, how she anticipated problems before they happened. He said little, but she saw the respect growing in his eyes. The town held an annual rodeo. It wasn't about winning prizes, it was about proving skill. Luke usually sent Jake to represent the ranch, but this year, he looked at Ellie. "You ready?" She nodded. The crowd laughed when she stepped into the ring. "Is that Taylor's new stable girl?" Someone jeered. But Ellie didn't flinch. She mounted her horse with grace, maneuvered through barrels like she'd been born on a saddle, lassoed a calf clean, and even roped a steer faster than any competitor. She didn't win, but she earned the crowd's silence. Luke walked up to her after. "You showed 'em." She smiled. "Not done yet." One night, a storm swept through the valley. Thunder cracked the sky, and the wind tore through fences. A prized bull went missing. Chaos erupted. Luke started gathering the crew. "Too dangerous to go out now," someone said. But Ellie was already on her horse. "I know where he'd go," she shouted over the wind. For 2 hours, she searched through rain and mud. Lightning flashed, thunder roared. Finally, she found the bull stuck in a ditch, injured and scared. She calmed it, tied a rope, and led it back slowly through the storm. When she returned, soaked and shivering, the ranch hands stared in awe. Luke said nothing, just handed her a dry coat. Things shifted after the storm. The others began seeking her advice. Jake started calling her boss, half jokingly, half seriously. She trained a new ranch hand, a college dropout who had never touched a horse. Under Ellie's guidance, he became one of the most reliable workers. The local vet started consulting her on carving problems. A reporter from the small-town paper came to interview her. The title? Little Rancher, Big Heart. Ellie just smiled. She didn't want fame. She wanted a place to belong. Ellie began hosting weekend clinics for young girls interested in ranching. She taught them how to handle horses, care for animals, and believe in themselves. One girl, barely 9, said, "They tell me I'm too little to do anything." Ellie knelt beside her. "They told me that too. But you know what? Little doesn't mean weak. It means fast. It means clever. It means powerful in a different way." Years passed. Luke grew older. One day, he called Ellie into his cabin. "Time I retire," he said. "And there's only one person I trust with this place." He handed her a set of keys. Tears welled in her eyes. "But why me?" "Because you never quit, and this land it responds to people like you." Ellie became the new owner of Taylor Ranch. She kept the name in honor of the man who gave her a chance. Now, Ellie walks the same fields she once cried in. She rides past the same gates that once closed on her. But today, those gates open for others. She hires not based on size, or looks, or resumes. She hires based on fire, the kind you see in the eyes of someone who won't quit. And when people ask her what made her succeed, she always says the same thing. "I wasn't the biggest. I wasn't the loudest. I was just the one who stayed."